Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the SU-100M1 review, aka the toilet tank, aka the toilet for short. So, I played this tank probably more than any other YouTube player, Twitch streamer, so on has played, and I've formed my opinion that this is the shittiest tank in the game. Well, not really. It's the shittiest tier 7 tank destroyer by far though. What it is good for? Well, it doesn't have much armor. 90 everywhere. These are like the only places you bounce these little cheeks here. Here it's 90 again, and then again on the cheeks it's a bit better. But any flat surface on this tank is 90, and this is 130, but it's not very well sloped, so it's not very much armor anyways. What makes this tank special? Well, it's the only tank that has toilet mounted in it. So here you have the stairs, you can climb up, you can open the door, you can take a shit, and then you can come out and wipe your hands with that towel. It is not as good as the tier 8 yet, because the tier 8 actually gets like water boilers to flush after you take your dump. But nevertheless, for the time, this is a pretty good onboard toilet. So that's why this tank is called the toilet tank. And yeah, let's get into the fucking replay. So here we go. The playing on Lakeville, binos is a must if you want to play like I do. If you don't have binos, then you can just sit at the back, camp like a beach, the entire game, the entire grind, have no fun at all, and die. Yes. But if you have binos, you can play this kind of like a medium light. Nah, I don't even want to say that, because it's not the medium or light tank at all. But at least you can play reasonably aggressive. And just look at this KV-13. I was facepalming so hard that I couldn't even play properly after this. So that's stock T20 fighting a KV-13. KV-13 can pen the T20 wherever he shoots, unless he shoots him in the track or maybe the gun mantlet. But the KV-13 is falling back because the T20 is too strong. So he's gonna get shot in the side by everybody in the enemy team. I had enough of looking at this idiot, so I decided just to go in and kill the T20 because it's a fucking T20 and he's not focusing me anyways. The good thing about this tank is it's quite nice DPM. The bad thing about this tank, the DPM is not like the best upon tier 7. There's tanks that hit for 390 that have better DPM than this thing. And this thing is awkward as all hell. So as you can see, the tank is reasonably fast with 18.5 around this horsepower per ton with the top engine. 34 degrees actually to hull traverse, which is alright. Then again, it's not very good because the gun traverse is absolute shit, and the top speed is 50, which is also pretty good, but it's not that easy to reach. Well, it's on flat you will, but uphill never. So gun wise, this tank gets a choice of two guns. One is way superior than the other one, but the one is there just to be the stock gun. So the stock gun is pretty mediocre. The aiming time and the accuracy is pretty bad on it, and when you get the top gun you get increased rate of fire as well, so the reload is around 5.8 seconds, which is pretty good, and the DPM is alright. You can't complain about that too much. Top gun reasonably accurate, 0.33, 1.7 second aiming time, which is also pretty good. So far you might say the tank doesn't look that bad, as I told you it does, but then again we come to the deal killers, or whatever you want to call them, the things that massacre the tank. So the gun depression, -4 degrees, plus the fact that your engine is in front of you makes use of terrain really fucking hard in this tank. Whenever you drive up a hill, you'll never have gun depression, because your front will be in front of your shot. So it's really hard to maneuver this tank properly on hard terrain. Next thing, the gun traversed 8 and the 8 degrees, so 8 degrees one way, 8 degrees the other way. You might argue that you shouldn't play this tank destroyer aggressively and you shouldn't be the one spotting and shit, but then again, if you want to camp, this is like the worst tank destroyer to do then. I mean, the gun is shit, 175 penetration, and if you want to camp with 250 alpha, it's useless. You might as well be scouting, because at least you'll help your team in some way. When you're top tier, yeah sure, go ahead and snipe like a bitch, but you're not the top tier, your gun is so ineffective, then you should do something more productive, really. So recommended equipment, binos, as you heard. Then obviously for armor. And the last one is up to you. I wouldn't recommend gun length drive, but ventilation probably is the best choice. For cruise skills, obviously 6 cents. Camo is more important than repairs, even though I said that you should play this tank aggressively, but I don't think the repairs are really worth it on it anyways, because you only have 820 hit points, or 30, doesn't even matter. The thing is, you gotta get 2-shotted by big guns and maybe 3-4-shotted by anything else, and when you get 2-shotted you don't really care to repair your track. Usually you're dead before you know it, or if you're tracked you repair your track with the repair kit, and if you get tracked again you're more or less dead anyway, so absolutely no point of using the repair skill on the crew. It's extremely hard to outplay people that have the same tier tank with the full hit points, because even though you have the DPM, you don't have the health to trade and you don't have the armor to bounce anything, so it's gonna be tough for you to be reasonably effective when in close range. So try to avoid being in close range. This is what happens most of the time when you're in close range. You just get shot, you trade shots with tanks that have way too much health for you to deal with, and you have to run away, which is why you shouldn't be in close range to begin with. So when you play this tank, think about where you can go so your enemies are at least 200 meters away from you. Middle is a good choice. I mean, if there wouldn't been the T20 in the middle, that it would have worked exactly like I thought it will, but even with the T20 is not a hard tank to deal with, because it was stuck and it can still bounce off your armor. So picking up my third kill here. The thing about this tank is you have to try to use your view range. You cannot use optics, even though the gun traverse is shitty and you tend to move a lot. You cannot use optics because the view range is not good enough. And to play this tank properly, you have to try to make use of those binos, because otherwise you're just a shitty tier 7. So there we go. 2040 experience, ace tanker, high caliber, 3084 damage done, 1745 assisted damage or spotted, whatever. A decent game. The tank benefits from binos a lot. If you don't have binos, you're useless. You should try to have binos whenever you can, and try to use them. Try to not be too close to your enemies, because they'll just kill you. You don't have enough health or the armor to be in close range at all. Or even the alpha damage that the other tier 7 Russian TD have. You don't even have that, so you can't be in close range and even expect to trade well or do anything remotely useful. So yeah, yesterday I grinded this for like 10 hours. Managed to get like 60k experience in one day, which was pretty good. And now I'm at tier 8, so that review should be on the channel within the next week as well, probably. Coming up the Type 61 as well, maybe the pattern, we'll see how that goes. SU-152 as well. And maybe the KV3, depends on what I decide to grind and what I decide to not give a fuck about. So, yeah, that's coming up on the channel. As you see, made a 37k profit, pretty good. And, yeah, damage blocked by armor, 250. OP. Whatever, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.